Hi. Okay. So, this is my AU Matter YouTube channel. I'm going to do my book review. And I just want to remind you all that moms who read are more likely to have children who read and enjoy reading and love reading. So, I think moms should read more. So, I'm going to be doing book reviews on the books that I read. And I think they're mom approved and friendly for moms. Now, the books for children, those will be something else. So, my first book I want to do is Verity. I read this book and I had mixed feelings about it. Now, the book itself is good, the plot is good, the theme is good. It will keep you turning a page or listening to the audio. It will keep you up listening to it, just trying to figure out what's happened, what's going to happen next, what's happening. Like, it definitely pulls you in. The story will pull you in. If you want something to just get your wheels turning and just really have you like, oh, okay, well, what's he going to do now? What's she's going to do? Oh, well, what's really going on? This is the book. Like, it's a suspense. There's a little bit of some kind of romance, but it's kind of iffy. I don't want to give away the whole thing. I guess so. I'll give it away a little bit. Well, no, I don't want to give it away. I don't want to give it away because I want you to enjoy the book, so I don't want to spoil it. But I will say it's a page turner. It's definitely interesting. It will definitely keep you on your toes, thinking like it's not predictable necessarily. I mean, once you get to the end, you're kind of like, oh, yeah, that made more sense. Like, but as you're in the book, that's not what's happening. So I do recommend it. It is one of Colleen Hoover's books. She has a whole line of books that people review on TikTok and stuff like that. And this was one of the ones that I picked up because I thought I would enjoy it, and I actually did. However, I did not like the ending. I don't like cliffhangers. I don't like those kind of stories. So anything that's a cliffhanger, I will stay away from it until the second book comes out. Then I'll read the first book and go right into reading the second book. I don't like cliffhangers. I don't like those stories that keep you, occupied with when's the next story going to come out. So anyway, that's my short book review on that. I'm just doing this before I start work today. And I will be back later on today. I'm hoping to get out and do some exercise, walking and talking. I have a couple of things I want to address. There's a couple of things, videos I want to make. One is going to be the type of careers that work perfectly for single moms. And the other one is going to be about dating. Yeah, some conclusions that I've come to, and I think they could be helpful for other people. All right, so with that being said, like, comment, and subscribe. Peace. Okay, so the next book that I'm going to review is The Midnight Library. The Midnight Library. I really enjoyed this book, and I can honestly say sometimes you read things right when you need to read them. Now, The Midnight Library, I believe, it's somewhat of a self-help book, but it's masked in prose in a fiction book. But it's also a self-help book. So it's not like your typical self-help book where you pick it up and it's like how not to, or how to be successful, or how to time management, how to do this, how to do that, how to make your mind frame or whatever. But this book, The Midnight Library, is about this woman who is just having a very hard time in life. She's at a point in her life where everything that could go wrong is going wrong. Her love life, her career life, her home life. She's just in this point in her life where she's ready to give up. She's ready to give up. I mean, she's feeling hopeless, and basically she kind of winds up in the Midnight Library, right? And in there, she's able to go either into the future or into the past and change something that would make the outcome of her life, or that would make her life different, right? So in the Midnight Library, she's able to go in there and choose a different outcome, choose different outcomes, but it's not without consequences. So when she chooses to be this, when she chooses to be successful in her career, other things happen in other parts of her life. So it's like the Rubik's Cube. When I move this part, the other parts are also moving. And it could change the way things look. So she does this enough times to where she winds up basically back at square one. But it's sort of like that saying, you left home. Well, how does that saying go? You left home only to return and discover that you never needed to leave. You was right where you was right where you needed to be in the first place, or something like that. How that saying goes. Basically, that's how the story plays out, and it's really applicable to everyday life. And I will say, at the time that I was reading the story, something kind of stressful happened in my life, and I had to really put myself in a certain mindset to get through it and to solve it. And this book really did comfort me. It gave me a little bit of comfort when I was going through that hard time. I had just finished the book, and right after I finished the book, I got the notice telling me that my contract was not going to be renewed. And it was gut-wrenching, because it was like I had a couple of weeks' notice, and I had to figure out what to do. I had to, really just think about, well, worst case scenario, the time went forward or something. I know my sleep is kind of messed up. Anytime the time goes forward or backwards, I don't care what nobody say. I don't feel like I'm gaining an hour. It just messes up my sleep, period. So at least for the first week or so. So anyway, The Midnight Library, I do recommend it. I think it's a good story. I will say, trigger warnings, depression, and hopelessness maybe in the beginning, but it will keep you engaged. And at the end of the story, you will have a better sense of your life, I think, and about how to cope with things, and just understanding that there's no shoulda, woulda, couldas in life. Like, accepting what is right now, understanding that you can't go back in the past, and just accepting where you are and working from there, and not lamenting over what could have been, what should have been, what you could have done, what so-and-so could have done, what this person should have done. Like, when you get finished reading this book, you'll have a real understanding of it doesn't matter what happens in life, where you are is exactly where you're supposed to be. And that's you work with what you have and appreciate where you are right here and now. So that's the Midnight Library. So I was doing the Verity, the Midnight Library, and my last book, which I have in front of me, which is this, which this is a nonfiction. Okay, this is of course Cleopatra. Is based on a real life historical figure, um, and I really enjoyed it, although I have not finished it, and really I don't think this is like for me one of those books you just sit and read from cover to cover. No. Um, there's so I did actually purchase the book, and I don't know if this book is on audio, and I'm not sure if I would want to listen to it on audio, just because there's, you see, I have some notes in there, have some things that I've, so, I've notated, and I'm still notating. There's maps in the book. So the book is definitely worth buying. There's photos, maps, illustrations. You get her bloodline and all of that. So yeah, I think the book is definitely worth putting in your home library. In this book here, especially, because we hear a lot of myths about Cleopatra. We hear a lot of people kind of disparaging, the fact, I mean, you get to hear her side of the story in here. Like, okay, she was forced to marry her brother. They had a child, and the child was severely deformed. Her brother killed the child, and so she killed him because of that. Then she had children with two powerful Greek rulers. And, you get to hear why that happened. You get to kind of see why that happened. It's not like she's just like, oh, I'm just out here. Like, it happened, for logical reasons. For one, she was, she was locked up in a castle with one of them for like a year and a half. That's how she got and then obviously the other one she went on excursions with, and so it wasn't so much that she was just out there having children with people, but the circumstances kind of put her in a situation where those things happen. You're locked in a castle with this man for a whole year and a half. Yeah, and when you finally get out, you discover you're pregnant. That's what happened in one of the cases, one of the Caesars. Anyway, so you get to kind of get more of the context of how these things are happening. And I think that's what gives Cleopatra her majesty. She was a woman, she ascended to the throne at 17. She spoke. She was one of the the first rulers, and she was from I can't even think of it now, Albanian or something like that. But she was not Egyptian, but she spoke their language, and she was able to speak to the people in their language. She spoke 9 languages. She was very educated. She was well spoken. um, she, educated, and you get to hear about the family and how they married, and just the different things that was going on during that time. I have not made it all the way to the end of the book, and I think this will be a book that I won't like just read straight through, but I just want to show you like some of the chapters. Like this one's called That Egyptian Woman. Um, like the chapter names are very interesting, and I think I might even skip around because I think I've read the lineage, the backstory. I don't know, maybe we'll not skip around, but see, there's a chapter, Illicit Affairs and Bastard Children, the wickedest woman in history, an object of gossip for the whole world. I mean, these chapters are dense, but they're from a historical point of view, right? So when you finish reading this, you will understand, who her father was, her brothers, her mother, and all of that stuff. So it really gives you context. And that's it for these book reviews. Verity, The Midnight Library, and Cleopatra, A Life by Stacy Schiff. This is the one I like. Now, my next book I will be reading, and I just want you guys to, I'm going to give you a sneak peek, and the cover's all messed up, but that's because my son, but my book is intact. This is called The Scent Keeper. And I had started reading this, but I'm going to go ahead and read it from the start to the end. It's about 305 pages. So it's not too big. It's something I could probably read in about, with my schedule, probably in about a week or two, right before bed. So this is the next one, The Scent Keeper, and I love it because it has so many descriptions of scents and how he's keeping these and just lavishing in scents. And anybody that knows me knows I love a good candle. I love some good oils, perfumes. I love it. So this is my next book here. And that's it. I will probably be back a little later today to do my walking vlog, and I'm going to walk and talk about different careers that are ideal for single moms. So with that being said, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.